The truth is, what gets you to 6 figures as a web designer won't get you to 7 figures. And this is something that I have been sort of wrestling with over the past year or so. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you will have seen that I put a video out, I think the back end of 2023, with the goal of it was either $100,000 or $150,000 a month. I didn't hit it. I think I hit like 75, which, it's shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars, blah, blah, blah. But this is something that is or has become a lot more realistic for me in the past year. Or no, not even the past year. I would say maybe the past 6 months. So about a year ago, let me adjust this. About a year ago, I hired my first sort of team members. Still not happy with that. There we go. So I've hired my first, it was like a Figma designer, amazing guy. And he now has his own team. And we've started to really grow that side of things. But for me, it was a huge adjustment going from a solopreneur, sort of around that 200-300K mark, to then managing a team and giving away a lot of the profits to build a team. It's really tough initially because you take a huge hit. You don't just hire a team and then immediately get way more work and then immediately you scale. It's like you have to take a step back, give away money, and then build slowly. But now we've got I think the team's at 8. So 8 people on board, and I think it's about close to $500,000 per year. But so far this year, we've done 2 70K plus months. Now I think 75 last year was my best, in December actually. And it was £67,000, so probably more I don't know, you do the maths, you can Google it, maybe it's 80K. But it's far more consistent this year. So it's 50, 60, couple of 70K months. So really starting to ramp up, probably even past $500,000, to be honest, between all the businesses. Anyway, all that to say, this has now become a really realistic status quo that I'm very close to hitting that 6-figure mark per month, which would make by Crawford, my web design business, a 7-figure agency or a 7-figure studio. I think agency is 10 plus, and then anything under that's a studio. I'm sure we'll have 10 plus employees soon. So in this video, it's going to be a little bit different. I've planned out a fig jam board, and I'm going to take you through this sort of flow of the things that I'm doing to get to 7 figures and then scale that 7 figures even further. So it's a very simple process. A lot of it just involves time and patience because all my inputs are, I would say, solid, and they have been for a long time. It's not like I need to change any of the inputs. It's just more of the same, maybe some tweaks here and there, and then just consistency and waiting and letting the compound effect take effect. So I'm thinking we're in May now. I'm hoping June we'll hit the 100K mark per month, which makes that 7-figure run rate a lot easier. So is run rate the right word? I'm not sure. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump over. Stick around because we're gonna have some Heisenberg memes and we're gonna go through so much intricate insight into my business. So we'll start off up here and I'll give you just a quick intro to me. So this is me on stage in Norway. Squarespace sent me out to do you've seen the blog probably, not the blog, the vlog, but basically Squarespace sent me out to Oslo and I did a talk all about how to improve your website for businesses. So I've been completely farming this picture, trying to get some aura. That's the only good picture I've got. Now, I'm Sam Crawford. I'm a web design expert. All of my websites say 450 plus websites built. It's now probably 600. I don't track it as much anymore, but it's definitely over 500. So I've updated that here. Built over 500 websites, all Squarespace, with the exception of one back in the day. I'm Squarespace's trusted expert. So I'm the enterprise partner. and I coach thousands of web design pros how to scale their income. I do that via, at the moment, Six Figure Design Club, where there's a free tier with about 600 people in. There's a paid program with about 250 people in. And I also have a beginner course in a program which is not mine, but it's called Digital Launchpad by Iman Gadzi, and basically there's like tons of different pros in there. I teach beginners web design in there, and there's like, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 in there. And I'm all about income. My whole shtick on this channel, on all my educational stuff, is if you're a designer or an aspiring designer, be it Squarespace, be it graphic design, whatever, I will teach you to scale your income. The systems are the same no matter what you do. So if you're looking at this and thinking, I'm not going to learn anything, promise you will. And if you don't learn anything, you can leave a dislike. That's fine. Currently, between my businesses, I'm bringing home roughly 600k per year. It could be a little bit more actually, but I'll say roughly 600k. And I'm ready to scale like crazy. As I said at the start, I have an amazing team. My only issue now is, if I 10x'd my lead flow, we could handle it. If I 100x'd, I'd probably only need to hire maybe 1 or 2 more people. So we're in a really good position to just scale like crazy. So that's where I am. And what do I actually do? So I have currently about 8 different, I'll call them ventures. 4 of them are very passive, 4 of them are more active. So along the top, the active stuff, we've got by Crawford, which is my main thing. It's my baby. It's what I've been. It's what made me, essentially. Squarespace website design, I would say the best in the world. ChatGPT says it. Google says it. Maybe I'm not the best, but my team, I think my team are the best. They're great. And if we're not the best, we're close. Then we've got Six Figure Design Club. I should probably zoom in. This was at Squarespace HQ in New York, where I did another talk. But as you can see, that's not quite as cool a picture because I'm like... But anyway, this is Six Figure Design Club. The club is bigger than this, obviously. But this was the highest private dining room in London. I treated the guys, or whoever could make it, to come down, and we had this amazing meal. We've done a couple in London now, and we've done one in New York at what was it called? It's one of the Soho House private places. One of those in New York. We do lots of events, be it online or in person. So this is where I educate mostly Squarespace designers, but we have, Adam here. He is a Webflow designer. We've got Ben, who dabbles in everything, marketing, marketing, but like paid ads, Lovable, tons of other stuff as well as Squarespace. So as I was saying, if you're a designer of any sort, you will benefit from this, but that's another thing that I do. This, I don't really talk about this at all, but I'm a part owner of reformerpilates.com. So basically, Henry Purchase, who you'll see here, he is one of my best buds. We do lots of stuff together, but he does SEO. So I don't know if you can hear some sirens. Apologies if you can. Anyway, so basically he got a message from the guy who'd bought the domain reformerpilates.com, and he was like, I'm going to grow this huge brand, make it the official site, blah, blah, blah. And then Henry brought me in to build the site, and I built the site in exchange for equity in the business. So Henry is doing the SEO, and I am doing the website design. And so now we have, a percentage, an undisclosed percentage of the business, which is really fun. So we built the site, and we're just going to scale that, and then do something with it. And then I have Wireframe Designers, which is my graphic design company, which is actually, it's so clutch, the amount of people we help in by Crawford and in Six Figure Design Club, and they design the whole Reformer Pilates site as well. Like it's such a cheat code. YouTube AdSense, so these are the more passive stuff. I have my other channel by Crawford, which is like Squarespace tutorials, where I will where I would go through, I must have almost 500 videos on there, just going through everything you can do on Squarespace essentially, and that nets me about $2,000 per month. I also collect watches, so currently I've got on the Omega, that was my first ever watch, a Tudor, and my pride and joy, my Rolex. So it's nothing crazy, but it's just a nice savings pot to have. I think it's maybe worth, maybe this is £12,000, 5 or 6, and then like 2. So like, 20k. If I wanted to liquidate it, I could. And it's just nice to have, something nice to invest in. I'll skip over this for a second because this is in the same vein. This is me when I was a little bit skinnier. Look good there. Looked happy with myself. Anyway, I own a barrel of whiskey as well. So I invested a few years ago into it was a spirit. After like 3 or 4 years, it becomes an official whiskey, and then the price goes up and up and up. But I went to Scotland to actually go and view the barrel. This wasn't the exact barrel. I did see the other barrel in a warehouse, but they do like tours and stuff. It's sick. So yeah, I think that's up 50%, which is nuts. I think I'm just under 3k in, and it's at like 4.5, something like that. So I own some whiskey. I did own some crypto, but that has just gone through the floor. So we don't talk about crypto. And then I just have a boring Vanguard ISA that I invest into, which is a S&P 500. I only started maybe December last year, but I was like, okay, Sam, you're coming up to 30. You're going to have to be a sensible young man and put some money in a boring investment and not just like buy watches and stupid shit. So that's everything that I do right now. I have a few other things up my sleeve, and yeah, I just juggle a lot of or spin a lot of plates, and it's tough, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, this video is all about By Crawford. So these are just kind of like side projects. By Crawford is my main thing. So this is where By Crawford is at now. If we include this, it's about 400 so you can see this is Bonsai. This is my payment processor, and in the last 12 months, about $455,000 has gone through Bonsai. Now, I don't take all my payments through Bonsai because if a client wants to pay by card and go through Bonsai, they will pay a card processing fee. And then, if it's a 20k project, it becomes quite a lot. So they will just send the money directly to me, and I will cancel the invoice here. So this is more like 500-ish, maybe 500, 520, let's say, over the past 12 months. I want to get to 250,000 per month. That's what I want to do. And well, why? Because there's a few things. I'll zoom out a bit here. First off, I'm just weird. Like, there comes a point, and I'll say this to everyone, like, there's a cut-off where, like, it doesn't make that much difference how much you earn to your, like, base happiness. So I would say if your overheads are low enough, 10 grand a month is enough. But I have started to, like, my overheads are about £15,000 a month because I pay Squarespace about 2.5k a month alone for the enterprise program, and then I pay £2,500 per month rent, and I class this as my office, so I claim a little bit back on the business, which is great. But just that alone is £5,000 between like two, and then I have to pay maybe like 5k, maybe more, in like basic sort of wages or retainers. I don't have proper employees, I have contractors, but like that stacks up. And then any new projects where I have to pay fees to the contractors, things just start to go crazy. Like above that 15k is the bare minimum, and then it can just. I mean, I have months where I spend like 40,000-50,000 pounds. It's good for Amex points because I can get like free business class flights, but other than that, it's not necessary for most people. Like if you have a decent, consistent flow of leads, and you're a decent designer, there's probably no need to outsource your work, and you can keep all of your, or most of your profits, keep the systems lean, and you can pocket, let's say, £7,000 or $7,000 per month in profits. You're coming up on almost 6 figures of profit per year. I think after that, things don't change that much. You can have a nice watch, you can have a nice car, you can go on nice holidays, you can have savings. But I'm a freak, and I enjoy business, and I enjoy scaling and growing things that theoretically shouldn't be able to grow as big as this. Like if you think about it, people have the misconception that Squarespace is like, you can't scale Squarespace. It's just for mom and pop businesses. It's not. I've built some sick sites for some big businesses, and I want to scale it to, 7 figures. I mean, if I'm doing 250k a month, then that's multi-7 figures. To grow it to that, just because I can be like to those people, like, look what I just did. It's petty, but I think it's possible, and I want to do it, and I just enjoy it. And this is why I've got my man Walter White here. It's like, I am good at it. I love. I'm nowhere near the best web designer or the best Squarespace web designer. As I say, my team are. I'm nowhere near the best. I'm good. You have to be good to get to a certain level alone, but I'm not the best. However, I am close to the best at the business side. I love it. It's all I do. I mean, I would love one day to just be able to teach this all the time, but I do believe once you sign out of the game and you're no longer doing this, then like you're not plugged in and you can't give the best advice. You have like legacy coaches who quit web design years ago and are still trying to teach relevant tactics. Doesn't work. So I'm good at scaling business. I'm good at business. I love it, and yeah, that's my why really. I want to take care of my family. That's a big thing. I would love to retire, everyone. If I'm making that much, I can retire tons of my family. So I would love to do that. Leave a legacy. Who had the best Squarespace web design company ever? Stupid shit. Some stupid shit, some more wholesome shit. Coaching cred, and I just want more life. Like, so here, I literally this morning, this was a few weeks ago, test driving a G-Wagon, all black outside, cream interior, and I was like, I just want it. I want it. Like, and it made me realize, okay, if I'm going to be paying for a bloody G-Wagon, then I need to make a lot more money. Well, I could get one, but I need to make more to be comfortable. And I literally test drove it for a second time today, like this morning, and I've put the deposit down. So I'm going to get one, and I forced myself to do it, because you've got to force yourself into working hard and hitting these, astronomical figures. So, I'm weird. I want to create a legacy. I want to retire my family, all of them. The whole thing is fun, and I'm good at it, and I enjoy it, and it gives me coaching credibility, and I want some cool shit. I've got an amazing life, but G-Wagon wouldn't go amiss. So there we go. I'm not all about charity. I do want cool shit for myself as well. So Sam, how? That's the what and the why. How am I going to do this? So if we zoom out here, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 steps to do so. So stop the overcomplication. And what I mean by this, if you have seen this video where I go on for 2 hours about exactly how I'm going to be a millionaire in 2025, I have so much complexity. I mean, you can see it on the board here behind me. It's complexity all across the board. And I just don't need so much of it. I was going into like, how could I sell domain connection as a service? How could I? And I'm thinking about all the small things I can hoover up, as opposed to actually how do I scale and get the bigger projects? Because I do get the bigger projects anyway. I'm thinking, but I don't want to miss out on the small ones, and I'm being greedy going towards the bottom. Whereas what I should be doing is having more of a opposite of a scarcity mindset, an abundance mindset, going upwards. So I've dropped so much of that. I could have condensed that down to like 15 minutes based on what I'm going to do. But I stripped all of this back and I focused mostly on the 80-20. But the thing is, as you grow higher, or as you grow as a business, the 80-20 rule, it doesn't quite apply, because 80-20 will get you, I don't know, maybe it'll get you to $500,000, there or thereabouts, where By Crawford is. And then you do have to start looking into that 20%, because 80-20 will only take you that far. It will only take you to 80%. Am I at 80% now? Or maybe. So now I need to look into the extra 20%, which is going to give me that boost. And then it will compound the other 80% and keep growing. And so this is something that I need to explore a little bit. I'm going to stop overcomplicating, but then I am going to have to dig into that 20%. So if you go and watch this video, you'll see just how in-depth. I mean, it took me weeks, if not months, to plan this. So there's a lot of good information in there, but a lot of it can be stripped out, and that's what I'm doing, because as someone who juggles or spins a lot of plates, juggles a lot of tasks, whatever cliche you want to use, it can be quite overwhelming trying to plan everything and make sure I'm doing everything and moving towards all these different goals all at once. So to strip the overcomplication just a little bit, it gives me a lot more clarity. It allows me to sit down and record videos like this without stressing about, I've got to do this and this and this. My core focus day to day now is very simple. It's wake up, have a coffee, clear the inbox and set the to-dos for the day, go to the gym, eat, and like meal prep, so I don't have to focus on meal prep throughout the rest of the day. I'll do a little bit more work, record a video like this so I can be consistent with content, and then it's just client fulfillment and calls until around 7:30, and then that's pretty much it. If I need to catch up on anything or move the needle, should I say, then I can do that in that space between, like, let's say 7:30 and maybe 9:30, then head to bed. That's all I need to do every single day. I know exactly where I need to be, at what time, and how I need to get it done. So sometimes you need to take a step back, and that's what I'm doing. Launching the new By Crawford website. So you're going to love this one. We launched it on Friday, so today's Monday. We launched it on Friday, still going through a few snags, but it is live. So if you go to bycrawford.com, you'll see the new site, and it is the cat's pajamas. Like, it's sick. And the reason why this is going to be such a big thing for me is it has so many more pages to dominate lots of different SEO keywords, but it also shows potential clients, hey, look, this can be done on Squarespace. We've uploaded all the new portfolio stuff. The old site just didn't have like maybe 30 new projects that we've done. And so my thinking is, now we're going into if we look at the 80-20, now we're going into the 20%, because it comes down to, okay, how does the site flow? Does it have this specific section? So we're testing currently a pricing section, an AI section, to see how that affects rankings and affects call bookings. So we even had a CRO, so a conversion rate optimization audit on the site, and applied that to the designs. We've rebranded, everything looks more professional, more high level. And so my thinking is, we had all this SEO traffic. How many people were falling off because pages weren't optimized, like those small 20% gains? If we can get the small 20% gains per page, then that equals way more than the sum of its parts in terms of client uplift. So this is what I'm thinking. Check it out and you can get some inspo there. Now, interesting, YouTube coaching, before, after videos, and consistent long form, click-worthy content. So I hired this guy, Victor Katrina. He's a YouTube automation expert, just in case that wasn't obvious. And he specializes in like faceless YouTube channels, actually. But I know him through like a membership club that we're part of, and I know that he's just like cracked the YouTube code for his clients. I mean, he obviously does well himself, but his main thing is like his clients. And I know that he can help me optimize this channel and the By Crawford channel, which will bring in more AdSense revenue to invest in even better YouTube systems to get more clients. So it'll be like, you know, if you are watching this and you are not in Six Figure Design Club, the videos coming soon may convince you to join, which is, you know, one side of the revenue. But then on the By Crawford's YouTube channel, I'm trying to get more clients through there, because, you know, that is such an untapped market. And I say that having closed probably like 6 figures in the past couple of years through YouTube leads alone, but I know it can be so much more. So now again, we're getting into that 20% gains. How do I invest in the right expertise to help grow the business? SEO dominance. So this is kind of a tip for you, which is don't ignore LLMs. So ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of those. If you go into ChatGPT and you say, who's the best Squarespace designer in the whole world? It comes up as me. And then I followed up with, be completely unbiased. If you had to choose one, who would it be and why? And again, it was me. You can try this. I mean, not everyone's is going to say this, but everyone I've told so far has tried it, and it does work on their ChatGPT. Just make sure you signed in, because otherwise it gives you like random names of people who don't even exist. But this is all because of the SEO work that myself and Henry Purchase have been doing on my site over the past, I think maybe 3 years now. Basically getting me onto the right places, getting the right backlinks, optimizing all my pages. And now we rank well on Google, but also we're dominating on AI. So I had like 5 call bookings last week alone who had come through ChatGPT. One of them, one of the ladies, she said, I asked it, who's the best Squarespace designer in San Francisco? Now, I don't know if that, again, is going to work for everyone, but it was me. And I was like, I don't even have any mention of San Francisco on my site. How has that happened? But it does, and they pick up on it. And so this is something that I'm really focusing on. Networking, increase networking frequency and breadth. So the amount I do and the amount of differentiation in those groups. So currently I only network within quite a small group. And I know that I should be going out to other places where I know nobody. So I'm going to start trying to do that, basically investing in membership clubs, physical and digital. There's a couple that I look at, and basically you pay for one. So they'll host events and it costs maybe 3.5k to go to an event. And you just have to commit to one event per year, and then you're in the group for the whole year. And so the one group that I joined years ago was fantastic to me. It's been really good for me. I'm going to try and replicate that as many times as possible. So get in with designers, business owners, get tons of ideas, and try and collaborate. And then this was prior to our New York 6-figure design club meal. So more of this as well. Now, the hidden world of Upwork is really interesting. I haven't been on Upwork prior to November. I hadn't been on Upwork for like 2 years. And there's a guy called Remote Oliver who I found on Instagram. Oh, no, I didn't. It was through a friend, actually, who said, look at this guy. And it was Remote Oliver. And I was like, oh, he's talking about Upwork. I haven't been on Upwork for however long. And it transpired that this guy was like killing it on Upwork specifically. And so I paid him, I think it was like 6k to do my profile and teach me what to do. And I went from, not top rated. I dropped out of that because I hadn't been on the platform, no job success score, crappy profile. I think it was 10 or 15k earned or something like that. And this was in November. And it's now May, 50k, completely optimized profile, top rated. I'm just like dominating on Upwork. Now my hourly rate's only $40 there. Usually it's $155 for anyone who's interested. But I just, to get people through the door, I have this as a rate, and then we don't agree on hours anyway. We'll just do a project rate. And then based on that project rate, I'll just run the hours into the log, and then that will, equate to the rate. So let's say if it's a 2K project, I think it will be 50 hours or something like that. Could be wrong on that one, but yeah. So Upwork, check out Upwork. I'm just going to try and get to like 100K earned on there for the year, and try and get in. Basically, Upwork have like a vetting process where they put you on their official pages, and then you start to get a big project. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then LinkedIn thought leadership. So I've optimized my profile picture and my banner to really try and stand me out as the go-to guy for Squarespace. We've got building the world's best Squarespace website. I do believe that. And then, you can see all of this stuff. So I basically pay a ghostwriter to write all my posts. Now, we'll have a meeting every week, and I'll be like, hey, his name's Sam as well. Samson. And I'll say, hey, we've got all this. These are the websites that we're launching. Here's some things about me. And he'll just go away and cook stuff up. And then I'll edit it to be slightly more in my tone. And then he'll just publish it, engage with people, etc. But that's working really well. And he's like messaging people, doing outreach for me. And so eventually this will compound. A lot of this is based on the compound effect over the next 12 months. Honorable mentions, so other things I'm going to be looking at is better email marketing, e.g. growing my mailing list and making sure that I am saying the right things via my outbound email to make people want to book a call with me. More in-person talk, so this is a big thing. It's the only thing I'm scared of, and that is in-person, like speaking on stage. It just makes me like shit my pants. I don't know why. It's just, I'm a confident guy. I mean, I've talked here with like no cuts, but I don't know, there's something scary about being on stage. However, the last one in Mesh, so in Oslo, it went great. I've never bombed on stage, but it's still like scary. So I want to do more. Whatever you're scared of, whatever you don't want to do more of it. It's the only way. Increase pitching, so outbound stuff daily, multiple times daily. Regular portfolio updates. Something I'm super guilty of is making all these really, really cool sites and then not uploading them to my marketplace profiles and my website. So each month I've set an hour aside to write the project descriptions and then brief the team to get them to do the Figma mockups, do the thumbnails, and then add it in and populate the portfolio for me. Because it was the fact that it was my manual labor that had to go into it that stopped me doing it, because I just had, other things on my plate. And this is the beauty of having the team, is you can delegate the tasks that you don't want to do, but they would actually move the needle forward in your business. So this is something that I'm focusing on as well. And then continue to refine client ease to contact, aka how do I make it as easy as possible to go from visitor or someone who is completely like not agnostic, what's the word, I don't know, completely just doesn't even know who I am, like landed on a page, to contacting me. How do I make that like the most frictionless thread possible? So this is something that I'm going to be working on as well. Now, if you want to learn more about scaling your web design business, then just check out my YouTube. Subscribe down below. There's so many videos. We've got student interviews, people like hitting 6 figures, easy peasy. 3 of my last 4 videos have been about students succeeding. And then I just drop like hours and hours of free source because I love the game. But yeah, if you do want to watch it, just go and watch. I mean, some of these are sick, like some of these interviews. And if you do want some paid education, you can go to sixfiguredesign.club. Link will probably be in the description, and you can sign up there. You can go on the free version, or you can go fully paid and get all of the source for 6 months. And then when you get to the end of the 6 months, if you want, you can extend for 12 months. So anyway, that's the pitch out the way. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you didn't, please drop a comment and let me know why, and I can make it better next time. Thank you.